I'd like to welcome you to the December 16th, 2021 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting for the City of Hammond. Roll call, please.
Mr. Margaret.
Here.
Mr. Long.
Here.
Mr. Perez.
Here.
Any conflict of interest statements of the board?
No, sir.
No. No. Approval of minutes of the meeting of December 2nd, 2021 and December 9th, 2021.
I make a motion to approve those minutes.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Bid openings, we have none. Matters from department heads or their representatives in attendance? No. Seeing none, hearing none? No. Okay. Item A, under correspondence. Correspondence received from 6th District Councilman Scott Rakos and 3rd District Councilman Barry Tyler Jr. requesting $34,000 of gaming funds be allocated for the police department, LPR cameras, replacement of existing cameras, and additional 21 new cameras throughout the city submitted for approval. The funding allocation request has been signed by the councilman as well as the city controller, as well as the mayor. Mr. Smith, anything you want to add?
No, sir.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve Councilman Rakos and Councilman Tyler's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Matters from board members?
No, sir.
Zero. Okay. New business. Item A and B kind of go hand in hand, so we'll address them both at the same time. Item A, resolution authorizing the City of Hammond by the Hammond Board of Public Works and Safety to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the Hammond Water Works Department for payment of water improvements within the Holman Avenue reconstruction project. And B, intergovernmental agreement between the City of Hammond and Hammond Water Works Department for payment of water improvements within the Holman Avenue reconstruction project. Mr. Smith.
Mr. President, good morning, board. Good morning. This is this intergovernmental agreement has already been signed by the Water Works. It's similar to other agreements that the Board of Works has entertained in the past, in which the invoices will be submitted for approval here. Once they're approved here, they'll be sent to the Water Department for payment. I think we have one currently with the Port Authority similar to that as well. This is specifically for a portion of the Holman Avenue reconstruct that this board awarded last week to Reith Riley. This is for an amount somewhere in the, I want to say it's right around $750,000.
Right, something like that?
Yes. Yep, and this is for, we added a water line replacement or realignment or something in the middle of Holman Avenue during this project, so they're going to take on the cost of that. So I'd request its approval. And then if we could, Linda, send a copy of that back to Water once it's signed.
Okay. Then I will make a motion to approve the resolution and the intergovernmental agreement.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item C, facility use agreement with United Neighborhoods, Inc., submitted for approval.
Yes, this, so United Neighborhoods, Inc. moved from downtown to City Hall. This is not a lease. It's specifically just a facility use agreement. It is to show compliance with their audit and, of course, with State Board of Accounts, just to show that they are in the building, but it's a facility use agreement and it's not to be considered a lease. So we request its approval. And Linda, if you could get a copy back to Levita down at United Neighborhoods, Inc. when it's signed. Thanks.
Okay.
Good. Okay. I will then make a motion to approve the facility use agreement.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item D, order to rescind and release order to demolish regarding the following properties: 1127 170th Place, 5955 Wallace Road, 526 Waltham Street Garage, 409 Vine Street, 835 Cherry Street Garage, and 614 Locust Street Garage.
Mr. President, happy to report that these are all being requested to rescind due to self-demolition or rehabilitation.
Wow, nice.
Nice. Good.
Yep.
Okay. Then I will make a motion to approve the order to rescind and release order.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item E, right-of-way permit submitted for approval from the engineering department.
Good morning.
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 We have reviewed these permits and found them to be in order and recommend approval.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
I'll make a motion then to approve the right-of-way permits.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item F, garage sale permit submitted for approval. Dates here?
That's a diehard right there, boy. 2 days. Okay, good.
Yeah, this weekend. Okay.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve the garage sale permit.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ooh. Item G, disposal authorization submitted by the Hammond Police Department.
Fine group of men and women.
It is. Yes, it is.
Seemed like you had to think about it there for a second.
No, I was trying to figure out the word, if there are any of them are beleaguered. No?
Perfect.
You just let me know.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve the disposal authorizations.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item H, notice of violation hearing for property located at 4315 Holman Avenue. I got one here.
Good morning, Board.
Morning.
Morning.
Property was inspected last month on the 19th, was found to contain a basement apartment, and we also did find a family occupying the basement apartment, therefore it was marked uninhabitable. And based on the lack of fire separation, ceiling height, and lack of egress, we asked the Board to order or affirm the order for removal.
Is Mr. or Mrs. Rodriguez here? You've had conversations with the owner? Are you aware of this?
Yeah, I already know about
You're in agreement with it?
excuse me?
You're in agreement with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we're good?
Don't forget to register the property for the year that
Yeah.
it needs to be as well. And I know you said you were planning on selling it, but it still needs to be registered for the time it was rented. You can go grab it, but I think you're gonna have to get it.
Do it.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion then to affirm the order to remove the basement apartment for 4315 Holman Avenue.
I second.
All those in favor?
Just give me a call.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm saying that anyway, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Page 2. Did we motion on that? Item 10, old business. These are statuses of the, we'll just take one at a time. Item A, status on property located at 2128 Atchison Avenue.
So, Mr. President, this is a property that was under a rehab agreement that expired on 12/9 of '21, which is, why we set these for status, right? We want to try to set them and see what's going on. Mr. Kearney has indicated that some rehab is proceeding, however, we're going to have to do an extension. So what I'd like to do is set this over for a March date. And I think between now and then, we'll probably have it before you for an extension of the rehab, but might as well set it out.
We got March 3rd, 10th, 17th, any of those sound?
Why don't we, you know what, we're probably going to give them 3 months, so what's the first April date?
First April date is the
April Fool's
7th.
Day. Oh, 7th.
7th?
7th.
Okay, can we set it for 4/7, please, for status?
Okay, then I will make a motion to set 2128 Atchison for status to April 7th, 2022.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item B, status on property located at 7044 Columbia Avenue.
The board, a couple weeks ago, did an order to rescind on this. I think I showed some photos of this property, so this can come off the list, no action needed.
Duly noted, no action needed. Item C, 1152 Roosevelt Street, front and garage.
We are waiting for we've had contact with the owner. They're waiting for the new owner. They're waiting for the tax deed to actually be issued. It was ordered on December 9th. So if we could get a February date for this, and we will hopefully have a rehab agreement in place by then.
3rd, 10th, 17th, any of
Let's
those?
go to the 17th.
Okay. Then I will make a motion to set that for status to February 17th, 2022.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item D, 964 Summer Street.
So this also has like an associated address of like, I forget the 100 block on Howard. I want to say maybe 4500 block or 5400 block of Howard. It's a back house, I guess, that we've been asking the owner, Ms. Majewski, I believe, for a long time to get the NIPSCO retired, pull out the kitchen and she wants to make it into a shed. We have a demo inspection on it. At this point, what we'd like to do is have this matter go out for bid. So I don't think we don't need to set it for another status. We're just going to it's going to go out for bid. So that's my update to the board. No action needed.
Okay.
Okay, no action needed. No action needed, okay. 7538 Tapper Avenue.
The board, a few weeks ago, issued an order to rescind, so that's occurred. Due to it being rehab, no action needed by the board.
No action. No action needed, thank you. 7025 Van Buren Avenue.
So this has been a bit of a problem because some repairs have been done to the garage. We bid it out. The NIPSCO, I believe, has been retired. I don't know if Mr. Kearney wants to indicate how he wants to handle this one. I mean, are we kind of, we're in the middle of this one.
Literally in the middle between husband and wife. The garage has been, repairs have been done. It's wrapped in Tyvek. It's lacking siding. Don't want to demolish it, but we need them to either finish it or, I guess it's a matter of who ends up owning it.
Right.
And that's kind of where we're at. If between the couple figures out who's going to be responsible, then we can get it cited.
So
Need a status, or you?
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe we could do the status for that April date.
Oh, the April date? Okay.
Yeah, because it's not really in, it's not in a condition where it's about to fall down or
You're
anything
not
like
going
that.
to
It's
get
just like,
phone calls saying, hey.
No, it's nearly finished. Literally all it needs is the siding and put on.
So, okay, okay.
Okay, I will make a motion then to set that over for status to April 7th, 2022.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item G, 6116 Wallace Road.
so this is actually under rehab. You can kind of see it. It's behind Ophelia Steen. It's actually being done. There's another one that UNI is doing in the 5900 block that just finished. So the good thing is Wallace Road is actually pretty active. That's a part of town we want to see more active with rehabs. So the rehab that he's currently under expired on 11/19. We're working on an extension for him. It'll probably be similar to that 3-month period if we could have April 7th as a new status.
Okay. Then I will make a motion to set that for status to April 7th, 2022.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 1244 Indiana.
So the garage was actually demoed. There was a demo inspection done last February, and we have requested NIPSCO to be turned off. We haven't had any contact with the owner. At this point, we're going to ask that it go to bid. So we will pursue that with our bid, probably in February or March. It'll be on the bid list.
So no action?
No action. It was more just an update for the board.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Forty-four 4438, and 4440 Torrance Avenue.
All right, so Mr. Medina is on Zoom. I see him there. These are 3 properties. They were before the board before. There's been some recent communication with Mr. Medina and Mr. Kearney. I believe the current status is as follows. 1, permits are or have been issued for both siding and roof. Secondly, Mr. Medina has paid for inspection of all 3 properties, and that's being scheduled. Is that accurate? Mr. Medina, does that sound about right?
For the most part, it is correct. But first and foremost, I wanted to thank everybody Kevin Smith, Callie, and his team, and the powers that be for working with me. So the inspection actually took place on November 17th, and we do currently have permits for both 4440 and 4436 Torrance Avenue. And I'm happy to say that the construction of the roof is actually starting today at 4436 Torrance, and 4440 we should get a date pretty soon for the siding to be executed.
So given that things seem to be moving along, if we could just have that April 7th date, I believe by that time this matter should be resolved, probably with a rehab agreement on either one or more of the properties by that time. I'm sure you'll have it before you between now and then.
Okay.
Okay, so all three properties for status?
Yes, please.
Okay. Then I will make a motion then to set all three properties for status to April 7th, 2022.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Item J, 1509 Myrtle.
So this was a rehab that expired in June. I don't know if Chris wants to give us, if you have any update on that?
So the property's owned by House Smart, and they had like Kevin Smith said, they had the rehab agreement. They had NWI United Construction as the general contractor, and for the building permits that they have pulled, they haven't had any inspections since the permit was pulled. There was a plumbing permit issued as well, but there was a rough inspection done last month. There was a new electrical permit was just pulled a few days ago, so we're waiting for work on that to be done, but no HVAC permit was pulled. They had Gonzalez Electric Heating and Cooling as the electrician and HVAC contractor, but they didn't pull permits. I think they just went with a new contractor for the electrical. And I think that all they need is, I think Bill Bluter, the building inspector, has been in contact with the contractor on this job. I think all they need is an extension of the rehab agreement at this point to finish the job.
So given that, if we could have that April 7th date, and we'll work with Mr. Luter to make sure we have an extension before the board between now and then.
Okay.
Okay, then I will make a motion then to set 1509 Myrtle over for status to April 7th, 2022.
Thank you.
I second.
Thank you, sir. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item K, status on Yemenez Auto Repair.
All right, hey, Christian. Did you have anything? Sure. Just to set the record, the Jimenezes, as you were aware, last couple meetings, they were trying to find a new attorney for, and they have found Mr. Bartholomew, who's here. He's been in contact with me, and of course, kind of where we left it was that they needed to speak with Mr. Poland and Mr. Novak down in planning to determine whether or not the new location was going to work for their use. Of course, we continued to be concerned about the volume of vehicles and the fact that they're currently occupying a building with 2 business licenses, which we've held off on enforcement, but of course still concern us. So that's where the city is.
Good
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
So this is my first appearance on the case, but to date, I have consulted with Mr. Smith as well as Brian Poland, and I guess there's 2 sort of portions of this. One would be the concerns with the vehicles that were on location. I understand that there's right now a pending ordinance violation for junk vehicles at that location. My client's here. He can answer any questions anyone may have, but I've conferred with him, and my understanding is those vehicles have been removed from the property. Hopefully they will no longer be an issue. The vehicles that were present have been sold. They're not there anymore. With regard to the planning on the location moving forward after consultation with Brian Poland, we determined that there's some encroachment issues. There's some questions as to title of a very small strip of land on the northern end of the property. Those are going to require title work to be done and a survey to be completed. I have ordered both of those. I anticipate we'll probably have our survey back from Turinga Surveying within about 30 days is the timeline that I was given. When that comes back, I expect to discuss the plans further with Brian to see how things hash out. I really don't know what the outlook will be until we have those in hand. The 3-foot strip of land at the northern end may affect the flow of vehicles through the parking lot as we've planned. Currently, the property is being operated as a car wash only at this point, correct? And I believe that falls in line with the use from the prior owner. Assuming we're able to work out the plans with Brian, I think after the survey comes in, we're probably going to have to go through another round of architectural drawings because there were some issues pointed out with the way some of the parking spots and again the traffic flow through the lot had been planned. Assuming we're able to come to an agreement that everything's fine on those, then any changes to the business license that may be necessary for the intended use as an auto repair lot will obviously have to apply to get that changed. If there are any direct questions to my client, as I said, he is here, he's available for that. Otherwise, if Kevin or anyone else has any commentary, I'm happy to listen.
Yeah, I guess just in response to what Christian said, I'm happy that he's on the case because this is going to hopefully keep things moving. And I'll, at the next status, Linda, make sure that Mr. Poland is notified so that he can be here to answer questions from the board as well, or Mr. Novak, or both of them. I know that the city still has a concern on whether or not that new location, the car wash, is going to be able to be used for auto repair. And if it's not, and we can't come to some agreement with that, then of course we still have the current problem that exists. I know the Jimenezes are trying to work with the city, which is great. I'm just hoping that we come to some solution because we can't have the current situation continue. And I don't know if Chief Long has had any issues there since we've kind of had this.
Have not. No, I was just going to, they've made those changes and we haven't had any calls there since, so.
Okay, so that's good news. So.
And Mr. Bartholomew, when you spoke about cars, junk cars were moved or sold, you're talking about the ones that were parked at the new location, right? The car wash, right?
At the new location, okay. My understanding is,
okay.
Have those been remedied at the old location as well? They've been cleared out from that location? So I think that they've been addressed at both locations. I'm not sure if there was a misunderstanding some months ago, but I believe what happened is there were cars at the old location. Obviously that was a problem. Some of them may have been moved to the new location, which created its own new problem, and now both problems are solved, per my understanding.
Okay.
There's an ordinance violation cited in court for the vehicles that were parked there. They've been moved. My recommendation would be put on supervision until we get the zoning issue and everything else figured out when they start bringing vehicles back in there. So there won't be any fines or anything for that.
Yeah, that of course is the court case that's pending regarding that. So that'll take care of itself. I'm sure Ms. Hill will deal with that over on Russell Street. So I think probably at this point, since Mr. Bartholomew mentioned that surveys 30 days out, my experience lately with the surveyors is they're behind. So if we could set this maybe for a February date for status, between now and then, I assume that Christian's going to be meeting with Brian and Tom, and hopefully we can have a new date, some update by then.
Okay, then I will make a motion to set this for status to February 24th.
Okay, well,
is that okay?
It's fine with me. Let's see if that works.
Should work. Let me check real quick. That's fine.
Okay.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, folks. Okay, number 11, meeting's open to the public. Anyone signed on the sheet here to speak?
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
I brought my neighbor with me, across from me. A tree that fell down in the yard from 16 Williams. and she have all the pictures of all the damage it done done. So I told her about the meeting, to come over here, because we been complaining about that tree. I've been complaining about it, and she been complaining about it. Kelly, I think she talked to you about the tree.
16 Williams?
Yeah, you know.
It's still down now?
Yeah, it's a, and Nips go there, because it done knocked the power out and everything at her house. So, they there,
We can check to see whether it's on private.
Yeah, is it private or
it's just
public
on
property?
private property on the 16 William property.
Well, yeah, I don't know if we can go on private property and
If
take
it's on
no
private
tree down.
property, you have to.
Yeah.
Public property, yes.
Yeah, but,
Private property. I
What
don't
about the
think so.
damage and stuff that she done sustained from out, if you see the pictures of it, you'd be like, man, it's real bad.
I mean, I think there's a remedy, but I'm not sure if this is the place to address that. The damage to her property from a tree that's on private property.
Insurance issue. Bring insurance companies involved in it.
Yeah, unfortunately, because it's on private property, if it does damage on that property, it's really a homeowner's insurance issue, not a
Okay.
city issue at that point. I mean, I know, probably that's not what you wanted to hear, but that's,
Right, no,
Yeah.
you know,
yeah, you're gonna have to file it on your home insurance, ma'am.
Yes,
You know, unless the tree was on public property, then that would be a different story.
okay.
So,
but NIPSCO was already out there, they putting up the wire, because it tore down her wires and all that stuff, so she called me this morning and asked me about the meeting, so I told her, I said, this is what it come to, so try to find out the remedy of it, you know?
yeah, I wish we could help, but
Yeah.
we can't, not in this instance, we can't. So,
Okay.
Okay,
sorry.
thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anyone else? Meeting open to the public? Anyone else?
Okay?
Oh, hold on.
Oh,
Good morning.
morning.
My name is Donna Crozier. I reside at 265 169th Street. The railroad is going in parallel to Lyman Avenue. My question is, how do we get the city now, since they've torn down all the trees, to clean up Hammond, where the man that has a property that comes at the end of 169th, I don't have the address right now, but they've cut down all those trees, so now all that ugly business is exposed. They got cars galore and old torn-up warehouses from...
You're
if you
talking
go-
across the green Lyman Field, right, to the
Yes,
east, are you
right.
not?
Right.
I see it from my house, too.
Well,
Already.
yeah, but
I live
the
on
point
Roosevelt.
is, I'm not here to ask you what you see from your house. I'm here to ask what, and I'm not trying to be rude, I'm very upset because this is very, very
Well, there's a lot of
upsetting.
trees going down, I see it every
Living
day.
over there. So I'm just asking, since they're doing this and putting in the railroad and everything and cleaning up all the trees, can't we get the city to address the issue of the businesses that are over there and maybe they could start cleaning them up?
Just from a layman's standpoint, I would think once construction begins, and maybe once it's almost done, they're probably gonna have those discussions with those businesses to see if there's something that may minimize the exposure of what you might see. I would think that's probably gonna be part of it. I would think so.
So who would be the person to address about this?
I'm not sure where you can begin at, but,
I am the district inspector for that area.
Sure.
On the end of 169th, going towards the grass lots where Garfield was, there is a auto repair business where the gentleman is currently in conversation with me about removing his vehicles from the lot and getting it cleared out via a vendor. He did have an issue where he contacted a towing company to remove vehicles, where the towing company removed several of his vehicles and never contacted him back to where he can pay for them to pick them up or where they can be transferred to another location. So he's currently looking for a new towing company to clear out the rest of the remaining vehicles on his lot and then have a vendor come to maintain the property from here on out.
George, is there a citation on that?
There was not a citation currently for the property since the owner made the contact and conversated with me about the issue. He is very receptive to, clearing out his property and making sure that it is all code compliant. the issue with the towing company removing the vehicles and then not taking any more of his phone calls has made him skeptical about additional towing companies removing vehicles. So he is working on trying to find a reputable company.
Is that the new owner now? Or because the previous owner passed away, I was told?
The current owner right now is still the same owner as previous.
They fixed up the building and everything because he repaired the building, but I was told by the man that lived across the street that he had passed away, so I don't know if somebody else took it over.
If he had passed away in a recent month,
Alright.
I wouldn't
Oh,
have
this
that
was last
information.
year, sorry.
Oh, it's
yeah.
still the same gentleman, then
Okay.
if it's still from last year, yes.
Well, it's just an eyesore, and I was just wondering if there's something that the residents, this is ruining our whole neighborhood. It's really cut our neighborhood in half. And I'm very, very upset because the deer and the coyotes have nowhere to go. And I know it's eminent domain with the railroad, and they own it, and they can do what they want, but it's really not making our city very attractive. They've torn down all the sound barrier. If you walk outside now, it was really nice and quiet. It's not quiet anymore. So, but is there something that city can maybe do to talk to those people? Not just that one, there's one further down, and that's awful. I mean, is there someone that drives around and looks at things and takes pictures?
I am that gentleman.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, well,
So if you would like, we can discuss
then,
everything.
okay, all right. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm just very, very upset. And I wanted to know what we could do. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm not the only one, I know.
Anyone else from the public?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.